We are back here on the ML Sports Platter. It's all brought to you by Batavia Downs Gaming and Stanley Law Offices, your personal injury attorneys. They can help you out in New York and Pennsylvania. Find out how at StanleyLawOffices.com. Thrilled to be joined right now by the senior athletic trainer at Notre Dame, Mike Bean, huge name in the industry. Talk a little ankles, some career, the TayCo Brace, and more. Welcome aboard, man. How are you?
I'm good, Mike. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you a little bit, and I know this is probably a little bit out of the norm of what you normally have on your shows, but it's an honor to be here to share a little bit of my story and kind of the TayCo story as it relates to athletics and even beyond.
Yeah, well, it may seem to some that it's out of the norm, but it's most definitely for me inside the norm because sports and injuries are right together. So for me, it's a regular deal, and obviously, you've read a lot about you coming into this interview. This brace, what is it? How did it come to fruition? And why did you do it? Man, the ankles, feet, it's a tough deal because our bodies, we're standing on them. You can't, it's a different deal because it's our platform, right? And every ankle is needed in every sport. And you've worked with hockey, hoops, football, baseball, multiple sports. Everybody needs the ankle for a different reason in terms of that motion, Mike.
Yeah, it's pretty common knowledge that the ankle is one of the higher risk joints, especially when you're talking about athletics. Obviously, in normal daily activity as well. But from an athletic standpoint, it's kind of the foundation of everything. And if you're having problems there, it's going to be tough to overcome at times.
So this brace, I mean, it's a little bit different. You know, what separates it? I know that the low, ankle sprain, high ankle sprain, there's differences there, but you were looking for comfort, something where you can kind of rotate more, minimize the length of a recovery. And it's different in terms of how it relates to the shoe too, right?
Yeah, conceptually, this started for me back in probably 2009, 2010, and
Wow.
just kind of trying to find a better solution to, take care of ankles. At the time, it was strictly just in my mind was just to, hey, let's be able to get a guy through a game, and let's be able to use this as something where they can play and function at a high level. And ankle braces have been around for a lot of years. Back, and they became a thing back in the 1970s. And there's been a ton of different variations, soft ones, semi-rigid ones, rigid ones, and all have served a purpose, and some of them still do. And but the one thing that they all had in common that was always a little bit of a sticking point with me was you put the ankle brace on your ankle and foot, and then you had to put your ankle and foot into your shoe. And especially when you're dealing with these semi-rigid and rigid braces, now you've wedged your size 11 foot plus the brace into your 11 shoe, and it really wasn't a great fit. And there were times when we would use one of those braces like that, and then we'd have to get the kid a whole half size or even a full size bigger shoe. And now you've kind of compromised the integrity of the shoe and what the shoe is supposed to do for support for not only the ankle but for the foot. So that was always kind of my sticking point. Was I said we need to do something that's gives more support, but yet doesn't compromise the integrity of the shoe, the support of the shoe. Plus orthotics, a lot of people wear custom orthotics to help to kind of correct some alignment in their foot. And those were really hard and cumbersome to do with a brace that went in the shoe. And, a lot of those braces, when you started wedging all this stuff in there, you had some pressure points and some blisters. And so there was a lot of factors that kind of went into the concept. And but I thought if we could figure out something that would be, outside the shoe. So now we're not compromising the foot or the ankle from a shoe standpoint whatsoever. And really provide a superior support and functionality. So, obviously most ankle braces, their primary function is to eliminate an inversion or eversion, which is kind of the rolling of in and out of your ankle. And a lot of braces do a nice job with that, but to really support the ankle, my thought was we need to incorporate the midfoot just a little bit, as well as the hind foot, which is kind of back by your heel. And so that's kind of where the original concept came from. And that's where we started. And I just had some ideas and was really fortunate to have a lot of people at my disposal to bounce some ideas off of, and to, start to kind of come to fruition with this idea. And started with just some drawings and some schematics. And I had a local orthotist here in town that was willing to kind of play with it a little bit. And we made some mock-ups and came up with a few demos and tweaked it here and there. And next thing you know, here we are.
That's incredible. Notre Dame senior athletic trainer Mike Bean, kind enough to join us here on the platter. Brought to you by Stanley Law Offices, Western OTB, and Batavia Downs Gaming. Make sure you stay, play, dine, and win. Book your package today at BataviaDownsGaming.com. Mike, I'm sure in your industry, like mine and everywhere else, everybody's looking to get ahead and keep their daily thing going. I got to get interviews to get my numbers and my views, and try to keep growing the brand and the platform. You're doing this as an innovative thing for ankle injuries. Teachers are looking to get better lesson plans and teach better to have kids score better. Construction workers trying to build things better than their competitor. And musicians practice more to outperform and get more gigs than their competitors. It goes on and on and on. When you went into this thing, was it a little scary? Because it's, hey, man, I need this thing to work, right? Because it's my name, it's credibility, it's where we're at here. This thing's got to shine. It also, obviously, you're at Notre Dame, which is, it doesn't get any bigger than that in collegiate athletics. But I mean, you took a chance here with this too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we started kind of really at a ground level. We had the prototype brace, and we started using it with Notre Dame football, predominantly just kind of in a practice setting to see if it would hold up and work. And the success was working pretty well. And we had kind of a watershed moment, probably back in 2012 or 13, somewhere in that neighborhood, where a guy, we put it on a kid during game. He sprained his ankle and couldn't go, but we evaluated and thought it wasn't too bad of an injury if he could support it and play. And we put the brace on him, and he went out and played the rest of the game. And he came back, says, "Man, this was phenomenal. I could do my job. I could function." And it was, wow, very supportive. So that was kind of the watershed moment. And, but again, it's, you want to have some data that says it works and it's field tested. And, but yeah, was a long process. And, like I said, it was my idea, but there was a lot of people behind me that helped put this to come to fruition with the brace and get it to where it is today.
So I just mentioned Notre Dame's as big as it gets. I mean, what's it like being there? I've never been. I've seen the pictures, the Touchdown Jesus, the Golden Dome, the whole thing. And it's Notre Dame. I mean, it's as big as it gets in collegiate sports, in sports overall, the brand, the fan base, the history, at times the winning. What's it like being a part of Notre Dame?
Well, it is a special place. And, a lot of people say that you can't really appreciate it until you've experienced it a little bit. And that goes for every aspect of it, from a Saturday afternoon to just the daily activities that go on campus, seeing the power of the alumni association that is such a factor in the support of the university in every aspect. It's a special place. And, like I said, you don't really appreciate it till you're around it. And I've been so fortunate to be around it for about 36 years now. And it's provided just some of the most memorable times in my life. But I've been able to work around, so many great people, so many phenomenal athletes and personalities. But it's been a fun run. It's been a great ride. And, we're just kind of looking to the next chapter now of, promoting this brace a little bit more and helping not only athletes. We've really matriculated into a much bigger field where now we're providing the brace supports, people of everyday living, which has really been kind of the humbling and the really rewarding aspect of how this has transpired.
How will you remember Lou Holtz?
Lou was a great man. I had the opportunity to work with him for about 3 years, one really close year, and was kind of his last year there. So, I didn't have a tremendous amount of time with him, but Lou was a guy who really embraced what Notre Dame was about and about what the school stood for. And he was just a great man, and he did a lot of good things for a lot of people, and his record speaks for itself. And I think there's a lot of people that are really sad that things have he's ended his life, but it was a pretty tremendous life though.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I got two more real quick ones for you. Jeremiah Love, we're coming up on the NFL draft. Are you seeing this guy up close and personal? How good is this guy, and what is an NFL team going to get in Jeremiah Love? I mean, he is as dynamic and exciting a running back we've seen in the last couple decades.
Well, that's a little off my realm of expertise. I mean, Jeremiah's a great kid. He's a typical Notre Dame guy. He's a special player, but he's a special person too. And wherever he goes, he's going to be really successful in whatever he does.
He's exciting though. He can get the ball and go to the house every time. I think that's what people are looking for. All right, final thing here with the brace and anything. I'll give you the last word where people can go get it. The social channels, anything that you want to do from a promotional element on our way out here, Mike.
Yeah, well, I think kind of the lasting thing is, what started out as specifically an ankle brace for play has grown into a brace that's used for a lot of different sports, not only for play but just as a recovery piece. And we're trying to kind of replace the big cumbersome walking boots that have been the norm for so long in ankle care, and with our brace we can get a little bit more support, a little bit more a normal gait pattern. Much more lower profile, more supportive. And it's grown so much more than just an athletic brace. We're serving people of every walk of life, from just the average worker to the professional athletes to the senior citizens who have, chronic ankle instability and those type of things. We're into the military now. We're providing bracing for our military in their training and in their activities. So, there's been a lot of people that have really been inspirational in getting this to where it is. Dr. Fred Furlick is one of our former team orthopedic surgeons who joined me, and we formed TayCo, and his vision and his passion for overall healthcare for every person was really been inspirational and been the kind of the stimulus behind how this has grown. And the sky's the limit, I hope, and we're still plugging along. We've got a couple different versions of the brace out now. We're trying to come up with a couple other things, that we may be able to help people with down the road. And but it's been a fun ride. It's been a lot of work. But again, a lot more people have been more instrumental in getting it here than I have. But lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't maybe share how the name came about. So the name TayCo is named after my daughter Taylor, my wife Colleen, and my daughter Courtney. So that's kind of where the initials came together and formed the word TayCo, and kind of had a ring to it when I thought about it, and it's stuck, and hopefully it's becoming a household name now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And everybody can kind of go Google it and check out. It just, the website comes right up here. It's just TayCoBrace.com, I believe, right there, right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Order it, research about it, find out more about it. And I hope everybody enjoyed this interview. Such a thrill to have Mike Bean on, of course, the Notre Dame senior athletic trainer on the ML Sports Platter, brought to you by Stanley Law Offices and Batavia Downs Gaming. Mike, thanks so much. Best of luck moving forward. We'll talk again soon, I hope. Okay, thanks for coming on.
Mike, I appreciate you taking the time and giving me the opportunity to visit with you a little bit. It was a pleasure, and nice to meet you, and hopefully we can do it again sometime. Thank you very much.